Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spoke like a dragon. Amen.
I read Revelation chapter 13, verse 11 through 17, the beast from the earth. Avoid page 3, said, when it comes to Revelation 13, 11, the second beast. Yakan 11, told me, said, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wood was he. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and receiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image of the beast, which had the wound by the sword, and they live. 15:16. And he had power to impact unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as do not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Last verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, except he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Sir, we are going to say, will be evening as I said before. Say, his share says, I'm very hard, I didn't know how. Say, you did to me, about 8 number. And come say, walk at Trevor and Banner. Daniel and Revelation Jaya. Michael, what they and more 8 number Amanipa and Remedy and Anane. And Yamaman said, we should that what is from the scripture prophecy. At the time when the legacy, round of its strength, was forced to resist from persecution, John beheld a new power coming up to echo the dragon's voice, and carried forward the same jewel of speaking. This power, the last, that is to wage war against the church and the love of God, is represented by a beast with lamb-like horns. I'm going to myself Revelation 13, 11 to 17. If I told Jameson as you said, Yakan said, it is the last that is to win war against the church. And yet, 2 million any Onyankopon Asamu, Bedi Omoa, Ikato. The woman, the beasts proceeded it at present from the sea. And one of the Isa, Hindi, and Anasa, Ahini, and Isa, Ahini, and Yemasabi. Onina, Reverence of being a pool, and example in the back. But those things are out of the earth, representing the peaceful rise of the nation, which is symbolized the United States. Signs of the Times, February 8, 1910. Timepato said, book with Revelation chapter 13, verse 11 through 17. Aqua, said, for what a man knew 2 months. Now, Okasa, the second say, but I said, the dragon, the promise, and the devil. Some wonderful. And then, with Rubian said, United States of America. Now, on any blood, we are seeing every move of the Yakuba. No matter how peaceful it has been, that is prophecy. Now, the Bible of the it comes in different way. If we are again with Judas and America, nobody Great prophecy, page 442. A lamb like horns and dragon voice, a symbol, point to a striking contradiction between the professions and practice of the nation as represented. Sir Moshe Ababa, now a woman in Sobaba, now all Cassette soldiers here, then just an Obama or Cassette or himself. Almost said in John 1:29, or say, and the next day John saw Jesus coming and said, behold, the Lamb of God had taken away the sin of the world. Come back, John 1:29. Or say, Christ to the Obama, to share we are singing our body. Then you get to Revelation chapter 12. Verses 4 or verse 9, yes, verse 9, exactly, verse 9. Maybe I can say, and the great dragon was cast out. Sometimes, the book was or say that great dragon, the old serpent, that deceived the whole world. So here is a beast, like a lamb, and also like a dragon. In the sense of the dragon deceiving the whole world, like a lamb attempting to help the whole world. One was upon head, and then we are sitting. Yet in Canada, and so the economy is dollarized. The BNU is the dollar and the Casa. In terms of the American power, and in Canada, at the international market, truly on dollar. For they have what you know, the Pacific dollar, and in Canada, it comes across every region on this globe. It tells the strength of America. Then Osman Edna said, the speaking of the nation is the act of its legislative and judicial powers. Bible said in the Bible, Revelation 10:11, he spoke as a dragon. Speaking as America as a prophetically or in the Bible sense. When the legislature and the judiciary makes law, then they have spoken. In other words, the nation speaks through the legislative and then the judicial authorities. Typical example. In the year 2000, in America, there was voting in the US. That was between presidents Bush on the Republican ticket, and then the then Vice President Al Gore on the Democrat ticket. Now, on to about by their system that war. Now, Omonia clear winner. Somebody was 7 possible votes that were lose. Then the court decided finally, said the Bush must go. That was the voice of the Supreme Court, similar to what took place here a few years back in Ghana. When the Supreme Court in the state spoke, that was the end. Now, the speaking of the nation is the action of its legislative and judicial authorities. Said Supreme Court of America Kasa, that is all. Wakasa. Now, in this sense, the court over there, the Supreme Court over there, could enact so many laws as they speak. And let me ask Supreme Court of America, or the Timiashi, and Yapoli. However, said official remedy. Not a brand of myself, it's your open someone, a woman of that. I repeat, America is a sovereign nation. America, your mind, activities, or more price of social remedy of men, and that work of mine. Now, said, official brand of myself, it's your open someone. When part of which is that man, let us say, or when some Anasa between you. Said official matters in till then they okay. It is so concept. I beheld the beast like a lamb with 2 horns and it spoke like a dragon. Next verse said, and now the true reading of one soon at the work of America, or within now the Wakasa, he said, what you say. By such action, it will give the lie to those liberal and peaceful principles which it has stood for at the founding of its policy. So, it said on the 4th of July, 1776, and American independence from the British. From that time, 1776, American Kasa Asia Bunyankupon so hard, like what took place last year. New York Times, the BBC announced it. We have some new video, a couple of them over here. Yet here, said Supreme Court ruling makes same-sex marriage a right nationwide. This June 26, 2015. Now, in a loud soft victory for the gay rights movement, the Supreme Court ruled by a 5-4 vote on Friday that the Constitution guarantees the right to same-sex marriage. And said, many people are saying that you know, and I love you know, explanation you are ready to. It's their own business. Now said, I buy a truck, then there are several ports. Not port, and Casasa no one. Just said, I feel all my in Nara, and I have one or more than 7. So, even you need a year, but in this case, only there are 7 or Supreme Court to decide on the matter. Then the Supreme Court comes out to say, you can't have a real, I never knew, I am far. Look at the definition one. Almost say is a union of 2 people, and the Constitution guarantees it. You ask yourself, say from 1776 to the 4th of July, when America became a sovereign nation, America got independent, why couldn't they define marriage and give the people their rights as is? And then the first time America knew that marriage was between male and female, a man and a woman. That was America. Why last year, and South America who said, you can't marry, said, and then back America, and it's me, a man you know, to be a woman you, it's me, or bad. There was this gentleman in the state, he still there for youths. You're going to pass Robertson, very rich, or educational institutions, from the crèche to the university, or international companies. Now, he considers himself a Christian. He makes utterances I remember very well. What can I say? They need to bring America back to God. And by doing so, they want to make sure that the judges and the Supreme Court will be Christians. And for that matter, Roman Catholics. As of 2003, the judges you see, this man was not in the way a friend of John Roberts. And the friend of who I lived because I've read about them. In a bunch of the Supreme Court, I saw it. What happened was, now, one of the judges said, "Well, you are a rapist, or you are a vaccine disease." I was also, actually, he was forced to step down. And after Bush, one party and fresh charge over there, and the boy, they one party near Pano, a little boy. Then another one resigned. Or resigned. The plan on Sunday day open or your wife, she stepped down. For what reason you don't know. Then the Bush appointed Tom Roberts. Now these two guys were Catholics. By then, now out of the 9 Catholics, there were three Roman Catholics among them. The rest were not Catholics. They belonged to other denominations. Two were stepping down. Two were stepping down in any Catholics. They were of the other side. The first two ones of which divided and then a little of the Catholics. So you have 5 Catholics over there and then 4 non-Catholics. Fine. Then in 2007, Baku SNC4, the only David Suta, also stepped down, reasons not disclosed. And that was 2007. That was 2009. That was when Obama was taking over the administration. And was stepping down. Then Obama appointee and lady, a friend of Sotomayor. Also, a check in the background, no, a Catholic. I have 6 Catholics that is over there. 1 Methodist, 1 Presbyterian, and then the one they call him, he starts himself a Islamist. That's why he starts himself. I'm trying to portray say, all those guys here are staunch Christians. And for that matter, they are also churches. So, if with their Christian background, they could preside over marriage and define marriage to be the union of 2 people. For that matter, it will be 2 men or 2 women, or a man and woman. If these guys could come up with this definition, what else do we need? For the first time, America has spoken like a dragon.
The right to marry is a fundamental right, and with those words from Justice Anthony Kennedy, history was made. Same-sex marriage becoming legal.
Now, that is meaning, what we now have to yes, that marriage is legal. Then we have all these ones that you see are Roman Catholics, not a single one of them. All these 5 are Roman Catholics. This man died about a month ago. You heard it, right? You will be surprised what has come of America. But the Bible predicted that it will speak like a dragon. Now, say America through some level where if you humble, it will always speak a dragon nature. It has said, when people Obama Subano will bring almost Subano, and I think that it will hit the church at the place directly. Someone who says the all the pressure and 7 church law viewers. Some we should also bow to this same-sex marriage. Some of the pressure to us. Check it out there and you find out. The North American division always dropped this government on this same-sex marriage. The Catholics are bound to it. Presbyterians are bound. The Methodists are bound to that pressure. Why was it to be a persecuting power? Now, before they even go further, one guy said, marriage was created on the sixth day of the week, that was on Friday. True or false? It's true. Then the next day was the Sabbath. So between marriage and Sabbath, you have just 24 hours, one day. That is the time between the sixth day and the seventh day, just 24 hours. So I will not be surprised. Said if last year, 2015, America, our reign for what? I will not be surprised. Said very soon from last year, they will also take on the Sabbath and finish it, and then we will be done. It is clear, the mission is clear. Let's go. The year goes, Leviticus 20:13. I said, or very man was sick, or very man or Nick or very man or Nick or very man in Edgar and man and what I am the Chiwake, whom and won't do. If a man also lied with mankind, as is lying the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. So, said America taking them out by law. Now, in the Bible says that nation should be stored. That just says, overcome. I am a man. And say, a young American, you come in marriage. You also said God created man, God created them male and female, and then ordained the marriage. Now, Adventist 1:340. Because the hardness of your heart is Moses appeared with you put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. It referred them to the blessed days of Eden when God pronounced all things very good. When ended Christ and the Pharisees. Then marriage and the Sabbath had their origin. Three institutions for the glory of God and the benefit of humanity. And it didn't happen. Our reign and Omega were in Africa. But we are Accra. But we are there. And in the other way, although now, you said last year, that is second. As America, the land of religious liberty, shall unite with the papacy, enforce the conscience and compel men to honor the Sabbath, the people of every country on the globe will be left for example. America, and papacy, power every rule. Power is system, persistent, memorandum of America is hard to read the book. Now, where is hard one? Or say you probably be a singer, a baby America to achieve. See Obama, listen to Obama as the speech.
Let me tell you something. The United States of America is the most powerful nation on earth. Period. Period. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. We spend more on our military than the next 8 nations combined. Our troops are the finest fighting force in the history of the world.
So what can I say? When this last state of the nation address and check, and what happened? So the United States of America is the most powerful nation ever. And what I said, when you combine the 8 nations that comes out of America, when you combine all their forces, America still tops them. So if I said that being the most powerful nation on earth, you unite with the papacy and then push it as Sunday law, all nations will follow. Don't say you will not do that, do it.
Our troops are the finest fighting force in the history of the world. No nation attacks us directly or our allies because they know that's the path to ruin. Surveys show our standing around the world is higher than when I was elected to this office, and when it comes to every important international issue. People of the world do not look to Beijing or Moscow to lead, they call us.
So what I said was he said, Christ bigger we are here. You go Moscow in Russia. You go Beijing, that's China. They go America. Is that not correct? Obviously, that is the strongest on the earth actually standing. And the prophecy has said so. The prophecy I can say, Sir and the Bayer. And a good one, in the strongest, as said, marriage equality, said male combination is okay. Why take it by that? That is America. Now let's go here. Before the 2012 elections in America, there was a heated campaign. The Catholics came out clearly. It wasn't something underground. Roman Catholics never out. Or what can say? This particular quote here will go to America because of God here. Or what they do that said, there is just one issue at stake. Whichever candidates are or person Catholics in America, every about every month, that candidate should agree only 2%. About the Roman Pope to honor. Roman Pope that the Catholic social issue. One chap was said, see, two, that's a big one, or the most of the believe. And the open this one, a better one police of the 20 years, so simple. They came out. The Catholic Hispanic Leadership Alliance has applied Catholic society to issues that will shape the upcoming presidential election in the news voters guide. Let me go to the next paragraph. It says, let there be no mistake about it. This is a national call for Catholics to exercise their way in the voting booth and do research. That is one of their bishops saying. And then, who compares Catholic social teaching? Are you listening? Compare Catholic social teaching is a very huge political stance. There were certain things. Now, under each one, we are able to celebrate the year and the rest of the concept. And number 5, the dignity of work and the right of workers. Now, it talks about resting on the Sabbath. So, when the Catholics placed those issues on the table, said, both presidential candidates, the then candidate Obama, as well as president, and then his other side, the Reverend John McCain, when they were contesting, that's what I said, this issue came up, said, we will vote for you and give us the Sabbath rest. Now, take the Catholic doctrine and ask yourself, which was the Sabbath rest they were meditating for. You go in there and they'll tell you it was Sunday. And before Obama was retained for the second time, he has accepted this challenge that if voted into power 2004 and before leaving power 2016, you granted that request. That is President Obama. Now, when he has said that, that campaign challenge, the Vice President Joe Biden, all the time prophesied in the new advertisement. Biden emphasizes he is a practicing Catholic, but to see that there will be a Catholic world news. Check all those there networks. In the new campaign advertisement, Vice President Joe Biden emphasized that he is a practicing Catholic and said that President Barack Obama's healthcare initiatives have advanced Catholic social teaching. Although the Canberra Product Abaman said, although Vice President Nagasano is a practicing Catholic, just also Catholic. However, Obama, one of those policies, the Obamacare, and over last year, Supreme Court said, open package no Obama said, for the one in America. Catholic social teaching is embedded there to women. Another way, Catholic reporter, 2014 June 18. On March 27th, Pope Francis and President Barack Obama met to discuss, among other topics, their shared concern about moral and economic crisis of growing income and inequality. Let me go forward. President Obama has stated that Catholic social teaching profoundly influenced his life and his work as a community organizer in Chicago. He now has an opportunity to apply this teaching on the national scale by giving low-wage federal contract workers the right to organize and collectively bargain for their working conditions. And now, Catholic social teaching.
Obviously, praise the Lord, except not working on Sunday.
Catholic social teaching. A woman said Sunday should be a day of rest for the family. And yet, another issue in the Catholic society, yes, it talks for equal pay for equal work. It talks about healthcare, good things. Just a little I would really want a woman to never say it again. But what the bad type of one, changing the day of rest makes it very dangerous for us as believers. Listen to America.
Basically says, you know, all of this hard work that people are doing on the weekend, on Sunday, has a negative impact on our lives.
It's so easy to let work seep in. I mean, if you're home on the weekend, you know, job Monday through Friday, and you just, I'm just going to get some work done, I'm going to go down to my office, do some work, and get this done. Then you realize that what it's taking away from that day of rest, that day of family, and that hour, that 2 hours just starts to snowball. And I think he has a great point.
Yes,
I mean, Judaism takes this very seriously. Orthodoxy, do not mess around. I admire this so much about the Sabbath. And again and again, we see this in the Old and New Testament. Keep the Sabbath holy. Don't work. It's almost like people expect and have always had the temptation to let work crap out all the other things that matter. Family, faith. They have to be told again and again, not about, don't work. It's interesting. I think people are lazy, but they won't.
This time, they are pushing in the Sunday agenda in the American system. Before this, it was normal. There's a good difference about sending a tear or being insanity. But now, as a son, it's said, President Obama Ashabo said about the Ottoman all person 2016 baby now or the emotion. Some more degree, much of a Benjamin Pass, some Atanika, and I'm not Atanika. Someone didn't have it on the said, yeah, maybe I was okay there, don't take that go, that is given. Or your 7-day Adventist Jerusalem, or your actual penny of America. A good church member in good standing, medical doctor, or more in Tim said, will be said, for them, there's a will be a war out there, no problem here. One more penny back to very limited guy, 7-day Adventist. 2014, and Obama said, resigning. Now he's trying to contest the American presidency. Obama said he thought Obama as American president. For Shasha Way campaign, General Conference friend, the North American division in particular, as actually said they were no dying, was no dying. So finally, North American division ended up out. Said, Papa, politics now will play. And yes, sometimes in the church and the church, no money business. I don't know, we are not denying me, he's our church member. We are not disowning me. But that aspect of his political career, the church has no hands therein. And they are not just. And because he said they're not the man, he says he's contesting for the American presidency. So he began this campaign. Now, on one time, he gave this interview.
Because we as Seventh-day Adventists understand the role that the United States is to play, not only now but in the future. And to me it's refreshing to see that your love for your country is causing you not to just say, oh, well, we're all going to, you know, oblivion and great, where Jesus is about to come. You're actually trying to make your country a better place.
Absolutely.
And you've been very brave in doing that. Tell me about the United States today and the whole political landscape.
Well, recognize that, you know, this is a country that was established for, of, and by the people. It was never supposed to become for, of, and by the government. And people were supposed to be free in every way. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. All of these things are under enormous attack right now in the United States. They have been for a while. There's an agenda. And, you know, people who read a lot know exactly what I'm talking about. If you go back and you look at the writings of Karl Marx and Vladimir Lenin and, you know, Saul Alinsky, and they talk about how important it is to bring the United States into line with everybody else in order to achieve a new world order. But in order to do that, they would have to knock down the strongest pillars, the Judeo-Christian belief system and the strong family values. Those are the things that are under attack. And that's why I am coming out so strongly against those things. And also the fact that...
Dr. Benjamin one reason is that America brought to Obama a year after 2016. Not 2017, when American president said, well, who said, of Washington agenda to America? Agenda of Washington said, on the set of America to make a breakfast. Not the new we are seeing now, certainly we are seeing now, Number 2. Sir, on the place a strong people said, nobody has been from America. The people, the Jew, or can say the Judeo-Christian belief system. I can say Judeo-Christian belief system, and send that medicine. No question. Yen and Yasu, except the apostle, except the apostle. A day and body mind technically, the Judeo-Christian belief system. I don't have the strong family values. Yet, as I said, you put our man and a woman. In sort of America in Nigeria, because by law, by the Constitution, and the Supreme Court has defined it, a man is only in Nigeria. Some Catholics, young man, probably didn't go to school. And what has there is an agenda to knock out the states. You go already, young women, not the final. Although at this level, till us Benjamin Carson, somebody said, for practice for America, September 2015, or what invited Modena, he was there. He was the only person I heard and saw that he was invited at the Sunday Adventist camp to have dinner with Pope Francis at the White House together with President Obama and the top bulls. But the show said the man was coming out with the very right future, contested by the American presidency. So, Papa then said, there is an agenda in America to introduce a Sunday law. That's why he's coming out to contest. Unfortunately for him, not only 16 candidates of the Republican, although he is standing on the Republican ticket. As of January this year, although that's a good degree, after the Republican and out, they said, most of the interviews are granted by God's grace, by God's grace, by God's grace. 80s, not the word was not on your body. Or what I did said. So you want to say, God grace is the one. There is nothing in your head to rule America. You understand the 80s. Then, excuse my language. You claim that by God's grace, so without God's grace, you cannot perform as a president. Therefore, you are fit to be a president in America. This is the language of the 80s. They dropped him out of the race completely. But sorry, that he's dropped out of the contention. But yet, the good one said, Obama, one man in Union. That's the person. To open up that trend, the direction America is going. Now, Oklahoma
court order forces Oklahoma to remove its 10 Commandments monument from the state's capital overnight. The Oklahoma Supreme Court ruled in June that the monument violated the state constitution, which prohibits public property from endorsing any sect, church,
Supreme Court of Oklahoma, America. Already 10 Commandments, I will slap this with a book of seal. And people I am the Lord I go. That put in the national steel. Remember the Sabbath is baby holy. All 10 Commandments, all political things. Last year, I'm not paying 10 Commandments to the water. Said, America is not a Christian country. There are Muslims, there are Buddhists, there are Hindus, there are all those people. So they should take a look at them from there. Yeah.
The 6-foot tall and 3-foot wide stone slabs were paid for by donations and were approved to be installed on the State House property in Oklahoma City in 2012. Oklahoma paid a state contractor $4,700 to remove the 10 Commandments monument, which now stands a few blocks away at Public Affairs Office. City officials said the monument was moved at night.
Before this, America never had problem with the law of God. But the moment of holding our Supreme Court in June, July, August, September, October, they have beat the 10 Commandments to action. And you know, they are preparing the way. Somebody has said, yes, they are preparing the way, they are preparing our minds. But that is what is to follow. Mokai said, Obama is not a president for life. He has only 4 years to run, and he is in his 4th year. And in every single campaign promise he has made, he will fulfill it. Don't try that guy. Don't go ahead. In his work, spiritual practice. In his work, Satan pretends to be very religious. He finds this the most effective way of carrying on the work he began in heaven. Under his guidance, the Christian world has made valid the law of God by tearing down the 7 days Sabbath and exalting this day a common working day. Just on one side, so about that I want, or back to send him to me. Now, why is that? I will give you a saying, I'm going to go on that. Now, when you go on that, you have to be, and you have to be, and this is the name. As men depart further and further from God, Satan is permitted to have power over the children of disobedience. Almost said, nipa every body control. Nipa every body next step of our body. It is a mass hammer, but you also in some every samples. Johnson, your mind, and your mobile. He helps destruction among men. There is calamity by land and sea. Property and life are destroyed by fire and flood. And the idea of your working and do the tree. Obonza, Unyama Yosayabo, Ushu, Eluja, that was said. Napi, even one, more Shimu. Satan results to justice of those who refuse to bow to the idol which he has said. And that's our nobody is a watcher, one woman, Apple or no more on some. Now, also, what is used to be a sense. I didn't program yet. Not concerned is not just our own who said, what will not be on the commercial of the years. His agents point to Seventh-day Adventists at the cause of the trouble. Those people stand out in the minds of law, they say. They describe Sunday. When they compare to obey the law for Sunday observance, there will be a cessation of this terrible act. Very around July 16, 1901. Jamiano, or however years. Say ye pursue Oja, Yaradon, as Wusu. Every year said, one day, almost a chair, Yakob Marshall. Did you remember that on your point? You bring a book of million. Yes, in Anna, you will get to it, you said. It's not a young woman, yet you are able to challenge. And you have a how at the other. The income is also waiting to have a sorry, the impossible. There is calamity by land and sea. Property and life are destroyed by fire. See, look 41:45. Trace to all Roman BBC and tell me after TV. When you the last of the signs in Luke 21:25, was it, and there shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. Son of the sea and the wind roaring. Psalm 71. But we have a pray, let me bring it back. There shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations like the sea and the waves roaring. We want to pick the sea and the waves roaring and probably get to the sun, the moon, and the stars. As for the distress of nations perplexity, time will not be on the side. And then other we are seeing, you have climate change, and I said global warming. And in Samartin, you'll be hearing that climate change, global warming, climate change, global warming. And on the world 21:25, there shall be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. And on the earth, distress of nations are never a war to yet me one. But for some I said the sea and the waves roaring. The sign that will be coming from the sun, the moon, and the stars will have impact on the sea. According to every Korean government, a better one is also a people. There was also a United Nations here, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change offers the declaration of global warming as a change of climate which is attributed directly or indirectly to human activity and that alters the composition of the global atmosphere and which is in addition to natural climate variability observed over comparable time periods. And then, it has a climate change and as a global warming, as a challenge a weary edge. Now, a real one I guess I'm not a kid. Almost a depart in some woman. And I'm not guessing. There's actually a better one or show a better. Now, I want it to be a very proven IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Omokuta, 772 top world-class scientists. 772 top world-class scientists. Obona Obushia. Said they are already removed by the climate change and they are simple. And they point a password. Yabemusa climate change. Now, on the ball out of their interest, when we are so in Papa, Yaki Papa.
Climate change is something that affects all of our lives, whether we're a student, a teacher, or a scientist. And speaking of scientists, I have a guest here with me today that can tell us a lot more about climate change, Josh Willis. Now, you're an oceanographer here at JPL, correct?
Well, I'm an oceanographer, but I study sea level rise and global warming and really how the ocean fits into that whole global warming picture. Global warming is happening because people are emitting billions of tons of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Now, when they get there, these greenhouse gases cause extra heat to be trapped on the Earth. So heat that would have otherwise been radiated back out into space is now sticking around and warming up our planet.
Now, all that heat is trapped in our atmosphere, but is it also affecting the oceans?
It turns out that 80 to 90% of the heat from global warming is actually going into the oceans. So the oceans are really the big Earth heat bucket. That's where all the heat winds up going. It turns out that the oceans can absorb 1,000 times the amount of heat as the atmosphere without really changing their temperature all that much. And the reason is because of something called heat capacity.
Do you have an example that could maybe explain heat capacity?
Let's imagine that this balloon represents the whole Earth's atmosphere. So now my candle, my little lighter here represents the sun, so let's add some heat to it and see what happens.
Now don't try this at home without adult supervision and proper safety equipment. Whoa! So obviously the heat capacity of air is very low because it didn't absorb any heat at all.
Well, that's right. Almost as soon as we put the candle to the balloon, it exploded. And the reason is because since the air inside the balloon couldn't really absorb the heat that fast, all the heat went toward melting the rubber. As soon as the rubber melted, the balloon explodes.
Ah, okay, cool. Now that's a good definition.
The sea and the waves roaring. as a result of the signs coming from the sun. Aboard the carrier exploration. And movements of Obiang are shown on just 80 to 90% a boom. In the roughly about 10% and a bike size. But no one or patents per se. So we are going to report. Said, was shown it we are not that bad. And we are still one that was shown come on the vessel. Now, this is said a pool, and a higher booty, or shown that we are the mass a problem, let more like a sea. But what I said, or best
didn't absorb any heat at all.
Well, that's right. Almost as soon as we put the candle to the balloon, it exploded. And the reason is because, since the air inside the balloon couldn't really absorb the heat that fast, all the heat went toward melting the rubber. As soon as the rubber melted, the balloon explodes.
Ah, okay, cool. Now that's a good demonstration of the heat capacity of air. How about the heat capacity of water or the oceans?
Yeah, let's do the oceans. How about a water balloon, Steve?
Sounds great.
All right. All right, Steve, so this balloon filled with water represents the oceans, and my lighter here represents the sun. Let's put some heat on it and see what happens.
Wow. Obviously, it's absorbing.
Also, a little way to shoot into already heat the camera and the main pipe to alter access a promote a kind of water access. And it's not really something means and change. When they are scientific. And then Christ will say for the man, the last time is the power of the sun will give us signs to understand. And it will affect the sea. Okay, young women a woman, a Persia, says, Obiang war, and Anane ice, the green.
2014 is shaping up to be the warmest year
ever recorded for planet Earth.
Heat is trapped out there according to science. Then we have a less high beer or power body energy. And then SARS near the brain and not Christo or Pelmaster. I will look to my one morning. And I did in our home. Offer Pepper, Pamela. Ini Tamalaya Sakun and Wano, also a Pono and the Pro. Over Nigeria, they are complaining, Senegal is complaining, UK is complaining, China is complaining. Most countries lying low below sea level, or in a asset, a Pono, a Pro. Previously, now and just a better stuff are better. Now, maybe I'm not, they are not going to want to live back there. Based upon some of the things, normally scientifically or more and Mona United Nations Council said, Ye I Mobias, Ye Juma, Ye Mome. And when she Yen Panya Ebeman of my war at me. Some reporter IBC divine. Then Pope Francis and the rest of the Christian world organized meetings after meetings. Then in September last year, for UN conference in New York, with a large chunk of Isaac and Anane. But of late, from 2010 and I say, then a book of and he said, a book of someone, and my consumer now lost daily and so that the book. It would write a big one. A proposal and grammar sample, a consumer, a box. And then I can when you said, Ghana, the Mexican ASC defense. Tema from the three. Yes, he depends. Our better, if you are organ, we come from mountain, and then we are working on ourselves. Yes, he depends. And then several countries are defending the land. As I said, a bono and adopting a baboon. Also, Christo can say the sea and the waves roaring. And we are one of the last signs given in the book of Luke. Back to where we started from. United Nations at the last general meeting of what is sharing to Medicine Development Sustainable Development Goals SDG Medicine because it's all about the.
Hi everybody. This Monday, I'm heading to Alaska for a 3-day tour of the state. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, not only because Alaska is one of the most beautiful places in a country that's full of beautiful places, but because I'll have several opportunities to meet with everyday Alaskans about what's going on in their lives.
I have the president here and repeating him. Please listen to him over here.
And as long as I'm president, America will lead the world to meet the threat of climate change before it's too late. Thanks, and have a great weekend.
As long as I am president, America will lead the world to fight climate change before it is too late. Self-production of the new America Day. We are saying, climate change. And then last September, Pope Francis, on the whole document, that poet, you said a proposal. Actually, you said a proposal, a encyclical, said that the encyclical accident is stronger to them than the 10 points. Or the you said a longer getting to the United Nations Agenda. Every president on this planet Earth have endorsed that encyclical that Pope Francis wrote. That was September. Now, opportunity to be here. Almost said that Saint-Jean said they were under special attention in Paris. We had a meeting of Paris, 30th November to December 12, 2015, last year. I'm just giving you a sample of the whole stuff. And then April 14, am I right? Good. After 8 days, the whole world, every president is to send a rep for himself. You go back to New York. We are going to endorse that which we have agreed on in Paris. You go Paris last year, and the whole world said climate change. Science what percent a year you want to do, and taking that to make of the arrested. And at Paris, then the Christian will back out said, see if the one in the arrested there, Sunday, then you and any two. For the 2nd of April this year, it is requested from every president said, Obepa you, no other sign, your country. Now, one point per delegates, President April 2016. Over science art document or after the year 2020 to implement whatever you have endorsed. Okay. And only the nutshell.
I have the great privilege of reading a letter which you will find of great interest. It has at the top of its letterhead, the White House, Washington. I send warm greetings to those attending the 59th session of the General Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Throughout history, faith has shaped our philosophies, our perspectives, and our lives. It has helped us find the vision to see the world as it is and the strength to address the most challenging questions of our time. It also brings us together to feed the hungry, comfort the afflicted, make peace where there is strife, and lift up those who have fallen on hard times. As we face the challenges and opportunities of this unique moment in history, may faith move us to unite in common cause to serve our fellow brothers and sisters. I hope that, as you gather on this special occasion, you are reminded of the abiding truth that each of us has the power to create a better world for ourselves and our children when we do God's work here on earth. I wish you all the best for a wonderful event. Barack Obama, President of the United States.
President Obama big man Seventh-day Adventists at the just ended GC conference. There is a certain phrase over there. Maybe it didn't catch your attention.
As we face the challenges and opportunities of this unique moment in history, may faith move us to unite in
May faith move us. Just listen to that side. This is coming from the lips of Obama, not the president of our conference.
May faith move us to unite in common cause to serve our
That's what I want. May faith move us to unite in common cause. Psalm 7, Pope Francis and Anane, let us unite in common cause to fight a common cause. Every time they say climate change, almost everybody should come on board. I don't think may faith move us to serve our brothers and sisters to fight a common cause. And now this time I get a couple and an abba will be a woman. Let's move forward. See, just there is an agenda.
It's a sign that decades-old enemies can one day change their tune. That's the...
Somebody please do that to them. This guy is the president of Cuba, right? It came to the news. Said for over 50 years, they never spoke. They were at war. America and Cuba were at war. Then President Obama, alcohol this year.
National anthem being played on Cuban soil as President Obama joined the island's ruler Raul Castro in Havana to close out this final chapter of the Cold War.
Okay, but one thing is that I have Obama for Cuba. 15 years ago, you see that handle. But listen. The next thing, but the first thing that Germany, 2016.
Yours just back in the White House after
when in 2014, right?
Sitting down with President Obama for an exclusive interview about this new agreement, and David, you talked to them first of all, good morning to you. Great to be here. You talked to the president about how the Pope played in all this.
Yeah, what historic day we had about 18 months of secret talks, incredible to think about.
Yeah. 18 months of secret talks. Now Obama and Pope Obusia secretly 18 months at Paris of Cuba meeting. And the last month that Obama called Cuba public said, Obama named Cuba, Obama named Cuba, and yet it has started 18 months underground talks.
Listen, Pope Francis did play a significant role. The president telling me the two spoke at length about this when the two of them met last spring, and then, of course, allowed the U.S. and Cuba to use the Vatican this fall as a secret meeting place. We know he reached out personally to both you and to President Castro. We now have the secret meeting at the Vatican. How crucial a role did the Pope play in all this?
Well, he played a very important role. The Pope has real armies. He can't impose sanctions, but he can speak with great moral authority that makes a difference, and certainly made a difference in this case.
Will you visit Cuba in your final 2 years as president?
I don't have any current plans to visit Cuba.
Not really now.
Well, let's see how things evolve.
You listen to me. 2014 December, and Nixon said the Pope has played a significant role bringing the gap between the U.S. and then Cuba. Then the question was put in, do you have any plan to visit Cuba? I said, no. Let's wait and see. So, yes. Then why am I saying all these things to you? The next one.
A divided Supreme Court on Tuesday abruptly halted President Obama's controversial new power plant regulations, dealing a blow to the administration's sweeping plan to address global warming. The plan aims to stave off the worst predicted impacts of climate change by reducing carbon dioxide emissions at existing power plants by about 1/3 by 2030. We disagree with the Supreme
December last year, meeting Obama won the Supreme Court. They said, I said set court and we need to. Now, as some of the courts Supreme Court can use it like radio. We are February this year, 2016. Fox News. A divided Supreme Court on Tuesday abruptly halted President Obama's controversial new power plant regulation, dealing a blow to the administration's sweeping plan to address global warming. Near Obama to Paris, Obama said that the Supreme Court set a court extra when you do the Obama to a Sunday law. Now, boy said, or they were court and rule, almost they were halted it. Listen to the statement. In a 5-4 decision, the court halted enforcement of the plan after legal challenges are resolved. Appellate argument are set to begin June 2nd. We are in April. We enter May very soon, and then we enter into June. And through June, they will begin argument on the Obama issue at the Supreme Court. Now, no one on the point. Implementation rules is considered essential to the United States meeting emissions reduction targets in the global climate agreement signed in Paris last month. Because we hear February news, I don't think Obama did the case for U.S. Supreme Court, or what did you want, and as Supreme Court pushes something straight away, that's our approach. Near and Rani and said, there was another request to prepare the church for all these troubles. Here we are, praying for the latter rain to come. And here we are, there's something that is pushing towards our direction. So how do we prepare? And then aren't we late? So this is where we are moving, this is what is coming. And the Nako said, the Supreme Court held that thing. They didn't throw it out. They said they halted it. But what Jack was said, June this year, they will start the argument. Now, it is about what they said. Or what they then call a court, fire the man. And justice are going to be and don't inspire. No, we did not have 8 judges. And don't have the school process down. Quickly, some Obama were nominating another judge. Quickly. Said that will be a some of the December, no.
Beautiful parts of the country, it's very popular hunting trips and that sort of thing.
But he voted against the same-sex marriage. Also, the women. When one of those, you can say, God-fearing judges. I'm not going to say that. One will
the justice was doing on this trip.
Now,
and today, after completing this exhaustive process, I've made my decision. I've selected a nominee who is widely recognized not only as one of America's sharpest legal minds, but someone who brings to his work a spirit of decency, modesty, integrity, even-handedness, and excellence. These qualities and his long commitment to public service have earned him the respect and admiration of leaders from both sides of the aisle. He will ultimately bring that same character to bear on the Supreme Court, an institution in which he is uniquely prepared to serve immediately. Today I am nominating Chief Judge Merrick Brian Garland to join the Supreme Court.
I don't see what they know quickly because I was saying then Joseph and the fight begins. The next one, 15th December 2014, Pope Francis offers help in closing Guantanamo Bay. Did you hear that? Good. When President Obama was campaigning to be nominated as president, he promised closing Guantanamo Bay. And he said, while he was touring the nations, or saying, presidents want to put their Guantanamo Bay in America didn't or no back, he released them. And then Obama, 2012, he won the election. 2013 is passed. 14 was passing away. And he had 2 more years to go. 2015 died away. His time was finished. Now next week, Vatican City has to close Guantanamo prison, a goal currently supported by Democrats. The offer came during talks between Pontiff's Secretary of State, Pietro Parolin, the number 2 in the Vatican hierarchy, and John Kerry, the U.S. Secretary of State. Only Vatican. President Barack Obama's goal of closing the Guantanamo Bay prison complex in Cuba has met any resistance from lawmakers in Washington, and now the White House is tending to a higher authority for help, the Vatican City. During an hour-long meeting with Cardinal Pietro Parolin on Monday, Secretary of State John Kerry asked the Vatican to help the United States find adequate humanitarian solutions for inmates currently being held at Guantanamo. Affirming America, and you can talk about what we said, Omwa needing Guantanamo prison into. So, what happened? A little bit. And send the US and then America have the need to play to make sure certain things are done to their favor.
Cynics amongst us might say that the United States has absolutely no idea how best to close down Guantanamo Bay, which is why it's talking to the Vatican currently. Those who are less cynical might say, well, no, the Vatican and the United States are just collaborating on how best to effect a humanitarian solution to a gargantuan international embarrassment and a problem. Well, that was the tone of the conversation that took place earlier this week between Cardinal Parolin and US Secretary of State John Kerry in their shared desire to close down the internment camp. Here's what they said. This is the press secretary for the Vatican, said the commitment of the United States to close the Guantanamo prison and the desire for a favorable attention of the Holy See in search of adequate humanitarian solutions to the current detainees. Mark, you're on the precipice of saying something.
Well, yes, the United States has to, who can we talk to who has experience running medieval torture chambers? That, oh, the Vatican, let's call them.
Yeah. I mean, there were mixed reports when you look at this. Someone was saying...
Said Obama promises said, or close Guantanamo Bay. After would be, I will call for Francis to test of one. See what I'm going to do to my back. When I look online that I said 3 more ex-Gitmo detainees right in Ghana soon. And who brought the speed? Is it the Pope? Is it Obama? Or Ghana? Ask yourself. needed to praise God that you know the real amount. Obama Yan that would do the secretary, Secretary Francis. Now you can like that as well. You don't do so. Obama no more has said anything. I'm only there for Senegal. See, she next time I'm like, I'm not saying the man go. Now, what is part of prophecy. It has to happen. By waking the people of God. We shouldn't be sleeping on that. Time is past for us to be sleeping on. The church will be awakened by some of the things. Things are happening very rapidly. We are living in dangerous times. See, Brother Kakrawa, Ghanaians are intended to raise themselves to accept into the country three more entities from the infamous United States of America, USA, Grand President Guantanamo Bay. The three more are the names come. But President John Mahama has explained that the nation chose to host the entities for humanitarian reasons. Okay, thank you back. During our long meeting with Cardinal Pietro Parolin on Monday, Secretary of State John Kerry asked the Vatican to help the United States find adequate humanitarian solutions. What did Ghana say? Didn't we say we accepted the people because we accepted the people for humanitarian reasons? It was a plan taken far back there in the Vatican. But various persons and groups from various sectors of the country, including the President Council of Ghana and the Catholic Bishop Conference, have spoken against the sole decision of the government to do. Now, I'm not concerned about the decision of the government. If a whole Catholic Bishop Conference in Ghana will be spoken against, meaning that they have no idea of what is happening at the top there, that's the one I want to make. But you never know what I said. Yes. They don't know. They are hiding that no secrecy. So we're going to be able to do that. And then they want to push the Sunday law quickly. What makes us think that it's a difficult thing for them to do? It's interest. Thank you for your time. God bless you.